Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. As-salatu wa-salamu alayka ya Sayyidi ya Rasulullah. Fidaka abi wa ummi ya Sayyidi ya Rasulullah. Respected viewers and listeners, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Many of our friends go to discuss and debate with the Qadianis, the so-called Ahmadiyya, and end up embarrassing themselves because the Qadianis have a strategy, very cunning and clever method through which they discuss with Muslims. And that is by seeking to divert the topic to the divisions that are within the Muslim Ummah. And specifically referring to the hadith of the 73 sects. This is a hadith that is on the tongue of every Qadiani. They have it memorized and they are going to use it in any discussion with any Muslim. So Muslims should be wise and should understand this point. A lot of our Muslims, they think they have a lot of confidence. They go to debate the Qadianis, and then the Qadianis, they trap them and they divert from the topic, or they divert from what the topic should be. Which, of course, when a Muslim goes to discuss with the Qadiani, he should discuss, of course, the false prophet Mirza Ghulam Ahmad of Qadian and his false prophecies and his blasphemies and his kufr and his character. These are the things that should be discussed. And of secondary importance when discussing with the Qadianis would be the issues of Khatm al-Nabuwa and Hayat al-Masih. But those are issues that are not specific to Qadianis. Therefore, if you're going to specifically discuss Qadianism, you should discuss the character and person of the founder of that religion, the false prophet Mirza of Qadian. However, the Qadianis very cleverly, they will divert the topic and they will ask the Muslim which sect he belongs to. And if, for example, as most Muslims are from the Sunni sect, from Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah, mainstream Islam, if you tell them that, then they will try to divert again by saying, okay, what do you say about the Shia? What do you say about the Wahhabis? What do you say about other schools of thought or movements within Islam? Seeking to divert the Muslims from the topic, and then the Muslim will go on the defensive. And then a lot of Muslims, due to being naive, due to being ignorant, and also due to being under the influence of some of the modern speakers and some of the modernists and reformists, they may give a very absurd answer and say something like, I don't have a sect, I'm just a plain Muslim. Or they may even say, I don't know what the right sect is, I'm just a Muslim. So if you give that kind of an answer, the Qadiani is going to pounce upon it and exploit your ignorance and going to exploit your naivety. Therefore, what you should do, of course, is say that, yes, I am a Sunni Muslim, and the Sunni sect is the true sect in Islam. It's the mainstream denomination. Vast majority of Muslims are Sunni. As for the 72 other sects, they are very small groups that have left the fold of Ahl Sunnah. Some of them may still be Muslims, although deviated, and some of them could be deviated to such an extent, like the Qadianis, that they have left Islam. And you should say that the Ahl Sunnah, the true sect of Islam, the Sunni sect, it has been present and continuously present since the inception of Islam, since the time of the Holy Prophet and his companions. And you should also point out that Mirza Ghulam Ahmad of Qadian himself was a Sunni Muslim born into a Sunni house. Before he started making his ridiculous claims of being the Messiah and being a prophet, before he made these claims, he was a Sunni Muslim. He believed in the finality of prophethood. He believed that Jesus Christ is alive and will descend in the future. His family were Sunni Muslims. His father, Mirza Ghulam Murtaza, his grandfather, Mirza Ata Muhammad, his great-grandfather, Mirza Gul Muhammad, and then going all the way back throughout his Mughal ancestors, going all the way back to a certain Mirza Hadi Beg of Samarkand, who came from Samarkand with Babur when the Mughals came into India. So his family history, they were all mainstream Sunni Muslims. And he is the one who started a new sect. The other thing you should point out is that the Qadianis themselves are divided into many sects. There's not one version of the Qadiani religion. There are many versions of it. And so the Qadianis will try to give the pretense that we are one group, we are one sect, while you Muslims are divided into 73 sects. And so we are on the truth and you guys are divided. You need to get your house in order. In order to refute this narrative, you should point out the divisions within the Qadianis. So I'll just give a brief history of some of those divisions, which persist till today. Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, when he died, he was succeeded by his right hand man, Nuruddin. Nuruddin became the first successor of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad of Qadian. All the Qadianis accepted that. But then when Nuruddin died in 1914, there was a succession dispute, there was a schism. Most of the Qadianis, they accepted Mirza Ghulam Ahmad's son, Mirza Mahmud Ahmad, as the second leader, as the second so-called Khalifa. But a dissenting party rallied around Maulana Muhammad Ali, who was a senior companion of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, also one of the more educated members of the community. He did not accept Mirza Mahmud Ahmad as the leader. They had doctrinal issues over whether Mirza Ghulam Ahmad is literally a prophet or only a prophet in the figurative sense. That's a different topic. So he and his party, they shifted to Lahore. They became known as the Lahore Ahmadiyya movement. This was the first schism. Then Mirza Mahmud Ahmad, when he died, one of his sons, Mirza Rafi Ahmad, some of his followers attempted to make him the Khalifa instead of Mirza Nasir Ahmad. And Mirza Rafi Ahmad, he started a movement called Green Ahmadiyya. And he also tried to become the Khalifa when Mirza Nasir Ahmad passed away in 1982. So there's also a group called, although it's a very small group, called the Green Ahmadiyya. Presently, there's an individual in Germany, a Qadiani in Germany named Abdul Ghaffar Jamba, who started his own sect called Jamaat Ahmadiyya Islah Pasand, or Ahmadiyya Reform Movement. And he claims to be the Mujaddid of the 15th century after Hijrah. He claims to be the Muslih Ma'ud, the promised reformer that Mirza Ghulam Ahmad spoke about, whereas mainstream Qadianis say that is Mirza Mahmud Ahmad. Abdul Ghaffar Jamba, he rejects the system of Khilafat, and he has started his own group, and he claims to be the promised reformer. Then there is another group called in Mauritius, led by an individual named Munir Ahmad Azim. Sahih al-Islam is the name of their group, and he claims to be a prophet. He claims to be the reformer, and they're based in Mauritius. They're another Qadiani faction. Another Qadiani, Nasir Sultani, who's presently in prison in Pakistan, having been convicted of blasphemy and has been sentenced to death. He started his own faction called Jamaat Ahmadiyya Hakiki. He also claimed to be a reformer, a Mujaddid. Then you have many factions, Qadiani factions in Nigeria, that don't accept the main system of Khilafat. One person named Jibril Martin, he started a group called Anwar al-Islam. And there are many other factions of Qadianis in Africa, particularly in Nigeria, that have separated from the main Qadiani group. And then you also have many Qadianis who have claimed to be prophets and therefore left the main Qadiani group and have their own followers. And for instance, you had Sayyid Asad Shah in Scotland, who was murdered in Scotland by a Sunni Muslim, Ghazi Tanveer Ahmad, because he was claiming to be a prophet, and he was also challenging the main Qadiani group. And then you have Tahir Nasim, another Qadiani who claimed to be a prophet. He was murdered in Pakistan by Ghazi Khalid. Another Sunni Muslim in Pakistan murdered him because he was also claiming to be a prophet, and he was starting his own separate Qadiani offshoot. So there are so many different Qadiani sects. So when a Muslim debates with a Qadiani, he should ask the Qadiani, which of these is the real Qadiani sect, and what is the reason for the differences among them. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.